It's like, just calm down, folks. Just calm down. And welcome into your weekly power play of hockey. It is the Best Boys Center Ice podcast with Carson and Besse over on my right here, and myself, Barry Besse. We're father and son. And as you can tell by the gray hair, I'm the father, and the good looks, he's the son. And we do this because we just love the game of hockey, passion for it. We would go up to Dallas to see Stars games, and the whole trip from San Antonio to Dallas, about 4 hours, 4.5 hours, all we talk about is hockey. We come back doing hockey trivia, and it was we decided a couple of years ago, let's do a podcast, and here it is. We're live right now on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube page, which is Best Boys Center Ice Podcast YouTube channel. We'd love for you to go over there and subscribe. And we've got, I think, almost 30 subscriptions. We would love to get some more.
For sure.
Because we can now go live on Facebook, but it'd be nice to get some subscribers. And the replay of this show and all of our shows, of course, follow on Facebook and our YouTube channel as well. What we do, if you don't know, we talk about, of course, the NHL, and we talk about our favorite teams. Carson's favorite team are the Pittsburgh Penguins, the 5-time Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins, and my team is the 5-time Stanley Cup champion Edmonton Oilers. So both teams this year in the playoff hunt, which hasn't been like that since we started the podcast, which is nice to see. And it's really nice to see the Penguins in that hunt, not just barely.
They're playing really good.
Playing really good right now. So we're going to wait, I got to turn down my volume here. I forgot.
Oops.
Of course, I forget to do that. So if you have any comments or questions, I know Jamie's watching us right now. If you have any comments, questions, who's your favorite team, or how's your favorite team doing as we get close to the Olympic break? What do you think about the NHL as a whole? You can easily comment right now live on Facebook or live on our YouTube channel. Or you can comment to either one of us on our Facebook pages or the Best Boys Center Ice podcast page, Facebook page. And we'd love to hear from you. And if you have an idea for our next show, what we can talk about, we'll definitely get into that as we get closer and closer to not the All-Star break, but the Olympic break, which is coming up here in about a week or so. So with that, I'm going to start by going through the week that was for the Edmonton Oilers, which was a lot better than last week's week that was wrap up. As it stands right now, the Oilers got a game tonight.
Except for Thursday.
The Penguins are playing tonight too.
Yeah, they're playing against the Hawks.
They're playing right now.
Yeah.
The Oilers are 27, 19, and 8. Second place in the Pacific. They're 1 point back of Vegas for first, and 3 points up on Anaheim, who they beat the other night. So they're in second place right now for the Oilers. And the Oilers had a pretty good week. They started out not that great. They lost to the Penguins last Thursday, and in that game, and I think Pittsburgh won 6-2. They scored 3 goals in 37 seconds in the first 3 minutes of the game. That in the history of the Edmonton Oilers has never happened, that they give up 3 goals in 37 seconds.
You're welcome.
And thank you. And that pretty much sealed that the Penguins just were the better team, definitely. The more aggressive team, the team that wanted it more that night. Then the Oilers went on to a very entertaining game at home against Washington. They beat them 6-5 in overtime. Mm-hmm. It was Evan Bouchard had a hat trick in that game, and an incredible defensive play in overtime, and then getting the puck up to Connor McDavid, who does Connor McDavid things, and they win 6-5 in overtime. And then in the most recent game this past Monday, in a very important game. The Oilers beat
Yeah.
the 7-4. Of course, it's at that time, the Ducks were only a point back at the Oilers. So the much separation as the Oilers can get from that, the better. The Ducks are a really good team. The Oilers were just that much better that night. Now, the Oilers D set NHL first. The
Yeah.
first time in history,
Wow.
a pair of defensemen from one team scored hat tricks in back-to-back games. As I mentioned, Evan Bouchard did that against Washington. And then Monday, it was Matthias Ekholm against the Ducks. Those two just happened to be defensive mates. So history made by the Oilers defensemen over the last couple of games. Depth scoring has come alive a little bit. You know, if you count the defense as depth scoring, it's all. I look at it this way, Carson, and that all four lines are clicking. They may not be, bottom six may not be on the score sheet as much, but in these games, you don't, like, I know McDavid had 5 points the other night, but the other guys are holding their own and they're playing their roles well. They're forechecking well in the zone. The young guys are playing well. Matthias Janmark is playing absolutely lights out. I didn't realize how fast he was as a skater until this year. So that whole bottom six in the defense look pretty good. Now, goaltending wise, Connor Ingram was shaky against the Penguins as he got pulled.
No. Jars.
Was Jars?
Jars played in the Penguin game. Yes, he did.
He played. Did he play the Penguin game?
Oh yeah, we lit him up.
Okay, I was thinking Ingram was in the game.
Ingram played against
Washington. Yeah, okay. I got that mixed up. Okay. But as far as Ingram is concerned, I really think he's the backup to Jarry. And I think that they're going to have to do something with Calvin Pickard. They can still carry three goalies, I think, up until just before the break. And then they have to, they'll have to either put him on waivers, send him down to Bakersfield or something.
Get him in a situation where he should be, though, which is probably being a backup.
Yeah. So that's what's going on between the pipes for the Oilers. And McDavid leads the league in points. Right now, he's 92 points ahead of McKinnon. He's second to McKinnon in goals with 33, and he leads the NHL with 59 assists. So it's like McDavid is being McDavid-like. I don't know if he's going to get to the 160-some-odd points he had a couple of years ago.
But still, it's a good season for him.
It's a good season for him. Draisaitl is maybe not on scoring as much, but he's up there with getting points when they need it, and that's exactly what they need to know. Need to do. That is coming up for the Oilers tonight. They've got a very interesting game against San Jose. That San Jose team is very electric. It's going to be
a big good game.
People were saying this is going to be a tougher matchup than Anaheim was for the Oilers.
I could see it.
So we're going to see that coming up tonight at about 8:00. Saturday, they're at home against Minnesota. Tuesday at home to Toronto. And then the last game before the Olympic break is Wednesday night in Calgary. So the Oilers got some business to do before the break. And it's going to be a 2-week break for the Olympics, except for guys like McDavid and Draisaitl, who will be playing for their respective countries. But that's basically what's going on with the Oilers. I think if you want to give them a grade before the break, I'd still give them probably about a B. There's some stuff like they need to work on a little bit. Sloppy passes in their own end, I think, is the key. I think they tend to want to just do that big breakout instead of maybe just dump and chase game. They need to kind of adjust that a little bit. But I'm going to give them a B for a grade going into the break coming up here next week. Now, we go to the great state of Pennsylvania, West Pennsylvania, as a matter of fact, for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And Carson, take it away with how the week that was for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
they only played 2 games since we last came on because I think they had beaten Calgary on Wednesday night. And we came on before the big matchup, and of course, you already said what happened in that. Penguins win 6-2. That crazy start. I wasn't expecting that. We never play good against the Oilers, hardly. That's probably the first game against the Oilers, really in the last many years that we were the better team the whole night. From minute 1 to minute 60, it was great to watch that. Obviously, unexpected how that game started with 3 goals in 37 seconds, but that's just what that team needed because they deserved it. They were playing well all road trip, and that's a hard team to beat in Edmonton, so they get it started the right way with a great win in Edmonton. And I think it feels maybe just a little bit sweeter to light up your old teammate a little bit. You know, I think. I don't know. Penguins fans were happy that Jari looked the way he did in that game because that's the Tristan Jari we've been used to seeing, and it's finally coming to light. And some Oiler fans on the internet, on Twitter and TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, are really uh, uh, giving Pens fans some crap about how Skinner's this or that Jari's this elite goalie, and he is a good goalie when he wants to be,
Yeah.
but when he doesn't want to be, it's like that, where it's just automatic. He made some good saves in that game, but I mean, it was it was crazy. I wasn't expecting that start, nonetheless, but happy to get the win. And then Shilov's played a really good game. Also, I mean, when the Oilers tested him, that he was ready for the most part. The only one that was kind of shaky was that Wallman goal that bring it to 3-1. But they played a good game. They deserved it. They won. Then they had a couple days off before finishing off the road trip in Vancouver on Sunday, and that was another interesting game. I mean, they started off, they scored the first goal technically, Chinikov, another one, so he's been lighting it up, but they took it back because of offsides. And then the Canucks scored a goal later in the period that was waved off because uh, the player screening in front of Stu hit his mask before the puck went in, and that was immediately waved off. They didn't even have to review it. But then the Penguins get 3 goals in the second period. Ben Kindle, the hometown kid, returning to BC, gets 2 goals in the game. The Canucks made a push in the third, bring it to 3-2, but the Penguins win. But there was a bit of a drawback in that game. Brian Russ, like I mentioned in my TikTok video yesterday, suspended for 3 games for a check to the head of Brock Besser, which I completely agree with there being a punishment. But like I said in that video, there's got to be some consistency there from the player safety department because how is it that a guy that's never done anything like this in his career gets 3 games, but guys the likes of Jacob Trouba, Brad Marchand get away with it all the time? Because that's how they play the
You
game.
mentioned Truba the last couple of instances he's been involved with
Yeah,
on your
like
TikTok.
that. Because that's acceptable because that's how they play? I don't think so. I mean, I mentioned the hit in the 2022 playoffs when we played the Rangers. The big reason we lost that series is because Trouba got sit in the head and it took him out for 2 games, and they lost both of those games. Again, like I said in the video, not 100% the reason they lost, the reason why they lost, but that plays a big part when you lose your best player because of that, and then no suspension. Then the year after, or 2 years after, that crazy play when he tried getting Natchez in that flying elbow and he missed. Thank God. But stuff like that happens, and the league does nothing. Even I hate to point this out, but even the Rantanen stuff from this year, he got 1 game for doing that 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
And then you get a guy who, okay, wasn't a good hit. No, look at the context of the game. He's trying to win the game for his team because there's 2 seconds left in the game. They're fighting for the puck in front of the net. He should have gotten a game, maybe 2. 3 is excessive, but whatever. It's what the league decided. I think it was just I don't like how they're not consistent. They let stuff slide, and then for whatever reason they don't. It's like goalie interference. What is goalie interference? What is player safety?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
stuff gets let go too much.
The NHL, the on ice officials, and in the back room in the discipline department, they've got to be more consistent with their calls because there's some stuff that they let go, and then there's stuff that happens. They say, "Well, you let this guy go, but why are you giving this guy something?"
Yeah. So
like you don't want to say that the NHL and the disciplinary crew go by reputation of the player, because I know in the NBA, that's what they do when they get the discipline. If they've got like the old Ron Artest, or if they've got
because that's how they play.
Green, because that's how they play. So they're going to give them stiffer. But with Rust, it was just like, okay, this is the first time he's ever and he gets the most, as you said in your
Yeah, the
TikTok,
longest suspension all
the longest
season for that.
suspension so far this season. It just doesn't balance up for the
No,
NHL. Now, this
it
would have
just
been
makes him look
worse.
bad.
This would have been worse towards the end of the year if they would have done this to him, and
Yeah,
he would have been out
but
if in a playoff
it
chase.
makes the league look bad
Yeah,
because they let just so much stuff gets let go and thrown away like it doesn't matter. But then something like this, it's okay. Like, okay, if they're going to do this, then make it 3 games for everybody when this happens. Three
yeah,
games automatically.
yeah.
Because I don't agree with when people have reputations for it and they continue to do it and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right? Like, okay, the game of hockey is not made to be played where you try to just take the other players out of the game. And that's how some guys play the game, is like Jacob Trouba, who tries to
Mhm.
just do that. That's just what he does. And it's stupid that they let it happen. But regardless, it is what it is. The Penguins got to make without him for 3 games. Thank God they've kind of got a favorable schedule. They're playing the Hawks right now. Then they play the Rangers, but they're really struggling. And obviously Panarin not playing for right now. And then they play Ottawa on Monday. But regardless, they're a better team when he's in the lineup. And it sucks that
Yeah.
this is happening, but they just got to make the best with it. And I think that just makes him more hungry when he comes back, because
Mhm.
he's got to be mad. I mean, hello, he probably even knows 3 games is way too much, but whatever, like just let it go.
Well, he'll be that first game he gets back. He's going to
Yeah.
want to he's going to
Yeah.
play hard. He's going to
Which is
want
crazy because that
to.
game's against the Flyers, I think, at home,
Yeah.
or at Philly. But regardless, it is what it is. They got to make without him. Interesting to see what they do. They brought McGroarty in for him, so he's slotted on third line, and Brezo's on the first line now,
Yeah.
until Brest is back. But in the meantime, the Penguins still are playing really good. They're 24 or 25, 24, 12, and 11 right now. They're second in the Metro. They have games in hand on every team, which is great. So any points they get now are just cushion points. Uh, and, they got a few games coming up before the break. They play right now against the Hawks. They play on Saturday in the afternoon against the Rangers. And then they play against Ottawa on Monday, the Flyers on Tuesday, and I think they may
That's
have,
the break, I think.
huh?
I think isn't that'll be the
No,
last.
they play the Flyer or the Islanders on Tuesday night, and then they play the Sabres on Thursday, and then it's break.
Okay, then it's break time. Okay.
So some plenty of good games in there. They can get it. I mean, the Islanders are right on pace with them. The Sabres, we know what they've been doing. So these are going to be some crucial games. I think it's good. You're going to get Rusty back for those. But for now, just hopefully they can get some points in and continue to win these games. And obviously they're really looking like they're going to be in a playoff spot at the end of the season, which is great. I mean, they're playing like they deserve it. Definitely a team that's going to be surprising people in the playoffs. I think with how they've been playing, all 4 lines have been playing well. Obviously, you've got the definite starter in Stu, but for now they're just doing that goalie rotation. But yep, if I'm kind of following your footsteps for a grade for this point of the season, I think I have to say an A minus, maybe B plus. The only B plus I would say is because of that big losing stretch they had in last month. But overall, A minus, because every guy's just played their role. They've had so many injuries, and they've just been able to fight through it and figure out how to continue to win these games or even get points when they're losing. So I'm really happy with it. They've defensively been one of the best teams since Christmas. Top in special teams on both sides, PK and power play. I'm really impressed and excited to see what they can do for the next 20, 29, 30 games, or however many they got left now.
So what we'll do next week is once we do our Thursday show, we'll wrap up the first half of the season because
Oh,
that'll be
and the
the
second
official.
half is going to be a
You know,
nuts, because once they come back, it's going to be like every night. Like they're going to be playing a lot of 4 games and 7 nights, back to back night. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be an insane last month and a half.
and I'm kind of cheering for Buffalo.
Yep,
Kind of cheering for Buffalo a little
they're
bit to
doing
make
well. They're
make,
they're they're
make,
they're
make some
beating
noise in the Atlantic.
They're beating a lot of really good teams. They're,
Yeah.
I think, 17-2-1 in their last 20 games. At this point, they've proven themselves that they are a good team right now. They just got to keep playing with that fire and having fun with it, because that's what they're doing. Another team on their division that's in the opposite spectrum is the Leafs. A lot of talk with the Leafs and what they're going to be doing, because at this point they're looking like they probably should be sellers, because they're 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 screwed.
Mhm.
They're screwed. And you know what? For you Leafs Nation population booing Mitch Marner the other day when he came back to Toronto, y'all let the wrong guy leave.
Yeah.
Captain Matty is a problem. Crybaby Nylander's a problem. Flipping off the camera when
Yeah.
he's in the press box.
Well,
That team, they're prima donnas. They're not a good team.
You can
They
tell that.
rely on talent. They rely on top end talent, and when top 10 talent doesn't want to play, they're not going to play. And guys like Nylander and Matthews have proven that they just don't care sometimes, and that's why the Leafs don't win.
Yeah, the Leafs are definitely in trouble. I don't see them making the playoffs. I just don't think they're going to have the pardon the expression. I don't think they're going to have the balls to get to push hard
No.
to get into the playoffs.
They
It's
they've
just
got the
too many head
wrong
cases.
guys leading that team.
Yeah, they
What
got too
what
many
were they
head
doing
cases.
when they took Tavares out of the captaincy?
Yeah,
Uh, you're putting a guy there who has proven he doesn't have leadership qualities, who doesn't show up when the team needs him. He has been seen this season, especially in the Vegas game, where he didn't skate back in overtime on Eichel's winner last week in that game against the Leafs. He was just slowly gliding by, and he didn't even try to get in the zone
yeah,
to defend. That's your captain, that's your leader, and that's where the Leafs are going, and that's nowhere.
because you lead by example, and that's a poor
Yep.
example
And
of
I feel bad
what
for
they
some of
do.
those players. Like I like Morgan Riley. He's had a rough kind of go this year, but I like him. Joseph Woll, I really like him. He's a great goalie. Stolars is a great goalie. Some of those guys, OEL, Oliver Ekman Larson, I like him. Matthew Nyes, guys like that, I like on that team, but it's just the leaders. I can't stand the way they behave, the way they act, and then they're defended by Leaf fans for acting the way they do, trying to be all showboaty and acting like what Nylander did, and they think
Mhm.
that that's okay.
Yeah,
They're not making the playoffs. They're not in the playoff. Worry about where they're at in the playoffs, not about Mitchie Boy not being there because Mitchie Boy's team is in a playoff spot
yeah,
and he's playing good hockey.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
boys aren't in a playoff spot and your guys aren't playing good.
No,
Simple as that.
Toronto needs to just rebuild that team from the ground up, and
The Shannon plan is over. All that
yep,
core four done.
done.
Blow it up. It's done. It's over with. The
What
the
like
the
they've done
Atlantic
nothing. They've won one playoff series with
the
that crew.
the Atlantic is so strong and they're not going to make it. They're not. They continue to blow these games, and they're scoring a good amount of goals, but they're just not. They're allowing too many, and
Yeah,
They're not going to make it out.
no,
They're in a crappy spot. That team has no confidence right now. They gotta just figure it out, and they just gotta blow it up because at that point they're just putting their fans through more misery. And do I feel bad for Leaf fans? Sometimes, yeah, but sometimes I don't with some of the moronic stuff they say, especially just with the return from Martyr to Toronto. That really made me upset because a guy that gave his all to that team, playing in his hometown, you boo him when he comes back because he was basically forced out of town with how the fans were treating him.
yeah,
Hello, I would want out too. If it's
yeah,
for my family's best and my best, yeah, get out of here. And they got something back for him. So don't be booing him when he tried his best, but you don't blame or boo the other boys that aren't trying ever and
yeah,
aren't there when you need them. Because out of the three of them, Nylander, Matthews, and Marner, Marner had the most points in his tenure with the team, and he had the most playoff points out of all of them, and they played the same amount of playoff games.
yeah.
So
Trouble.
sorry, I don't have sympathy for that
No, I don't
stupidness.
either. Trouble in Toronto, and they just going to be in a rebuilding phase
And
now.
same thing with the Rangers. I mean,
Yeah,
the Rangers situation is completely different. They just same thing. They got to blow that whole thing up. They're about to. Panarin's going to be traded probably at any time. Uh, that whole run is over. They
yeah, because
just
they pulled him from the lineup
yeah,
for
he's
the
not
next
playing
year.
anymore till the Olympic break. I imagine he'll
Yeah,
be traded before then, but it just didn't work out. The Rangers, I give them credit for being bold and trying to load up, but it just never was meant to be. And,
and
they can do this right and they can rebuild pretty quickly, I think. But right now, it's just they got to just kind of tear it down and build it up
one of the
from the
teams interested is San Jose, and he's interested in San Jose too.
He is, but San Jose might have to give up more than what they want. And I think
Yeah,
San Jose right now is number one. I think a team that I don't want to say top end free agents where they have to give up a lot or maybe add on a lot of cap, but they have the space for it. And some higher level players I think would want to go play there because they're an exciting team. They've got a bright future. They're going to be a good team. And so if Panera went there, yeah, that'd be really cool. But
mhm.
I would just hope that the Sharks don't have to bend over backwards to make it
And
happen because
get Pickles.
they've got their future set right now. If
Mhm.
they just play their cards right, they could be they're already a really good team now, regardless of if they make it in or not. They're exciting.
Yeah,
Your young guns are unbelievable. Celebrini's almost at a point per game already for the season. He already be at 80 some odd points. Like gee, like that team's just exciting. It's fun. I hope they make it in because they're a
yeah,
fun team. And Shark Tank at the playoff time is a very loud building, and those fans deserve it. Those players do. I'd be happy if Breadman went to San Jose,
Mhm.
but I don't know. And another team that's looking into him is Dallas. I think Dallas is going to be in the boat that the Rangers were a couple years ago when they tried loading up. I don't think I just don't think it'll work. But
Yep.
again, they have the ability to make it happen, then so be it. It's going to be an interesting time to see where he's going to go. He definitely has the control and say of where he's going to be because he's that kind of player. So it'll be just watching out for where he ends up in the next probably week, maybe if that.
You get these super teams. You got to realize there's only one puck on the ice. There's not
Yeah,
four pucks on the ice.
yeah. Well,
So
and it
you have to.
handicaps. It really handicaps them sometimes because they just have to, you know, they have to play jump rope with the cap,
Yeah.
and seesawing it, and who's gonna give up what, who are you gonna trade for him and that and the other, and is it really worth it? And you know, I I mean he's a great player. He deserves to be in a good team. I'm interested to see where he's gonna end up to be playing, but it's no longer going to be on Broadway. That is done.
No, he's done in New York. One more thing: the Stadium Series is this Sunday
Excited.
night in Tampa. As the Lightning will host Boston, and that's going to be interesting to see
Did you
that.
see that they have the whole cool design for the side of the rink now? It's going to be like a treasure hunt theme.
Oh,
So
is
they've
it?
got like a treasure map that's going to be on the side of the rink and behind it and stuff when you're watching the game. So it's going to look like a big old treasure map outside of the rink. Looks
Oh,
cool.
that's
It's going to be
very
cool.
cool. And we found out that the Stadium Series next year will be in
Yeah.
Arlington, as the Vegas Golden Knights will take on Dallas. That's going to be interesting to have it
I
in
th-
Jerry World.
I think they whiffed on that one. I think
You
they
think
should have
so?
had Colorado playing against them.
Against Dallas?
Yes. I think that has more history right now because of Biko Random playing in Dallas
Mhm.
now. They had that great playoff series last year. I think that would have been not the better matchup, but I mean I get it. The Avs are playing in the Winter Classic, I guess, against the Mammoth. But I think that would have been a really good game.
Mhm.
Regardless, this will be a good game too. But I think those divisional games just mean more.
Yeah, but it is going to be always like you always like seeing the Stadium Series, the Winter
Well,
Classic.
and
You know,
will this be the most attended NHL game ever because of how large Jerry World is?
probably,
It could be.
probably it
It
could
could
be. It
be.
could be very close.
It's
You
I'm
know,
excited to see what they can do with it, how the production of it'll go. Obviously, the game itself will be great, but I'm really excited for this Stadium Series game. I think it's just got a different buzz to it than the Winter Classic. I think they've done a better job promoting it and really making fans excited. I'm excited to watch it. It's
mhm.
going to be a good game. Two teams that are playing really good, Boston and Tampa. That's always what you want to see is two really good teams battling it out outdoors. Nothing better. I'm excited. I'm going to be tuning in.
Well, maybe the best boys will be there. Who knows?
Right, right.
It's
Wouldn't that be
Dallas.
something?
It's only like 4.5 hours away from us, so we'll
Yeah.
see what happens. But basically what I have as
Yep.
far as what's going on in the NHL. Again, we're coming up to the Olympic break. The
Yeah.
Olympics is going to be great hockey
We'll probably do
competition.
some check-ins during the Olympics, maybe,
Yeah,
because there'll still be some NHL guys, who's playing well out of that group and whatnot.
yeah. We may not go full board,
Mm.
podcast, but we'll keep updating. We can do quick updates
Yeah.
ourselves. Team Canada, Team USA.
Like maybe like even like quarterfinal, semifinal matchups and
Yeah,
stuff, like as it kind of keeps escalating. Of course,
yeah,
should Canada be in the finals, I bet you guarantee we're going to be watching that. So it's going to
yeah.
be a good game.
It's just going to be a great tournament, and you got a
Yep,
lot of
it
great
is.
teams outside of Canada and Team
Yep,
USA. A lot
yep.
of great teams, Sweden, Finland. The Germans even. They're going to.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be an exciting
Well, and
tournament.
what upsets are we going to see too?
Yeah,
We're
like
going to see
that's
some
the thing.
upsets.
What are these small countries are going to do against these bigger countries?
Hmm.
And yeah, the upsets always are
They're
interesting to
exciting.
see. Yeah. So that's coming up. I think it starts on the 6th
Yeah, a
in
couple weeks.
Italy. And so I think the rink is ready because the
It
NHL
is.
hasn't really said anything
It's
about
ready.
it. We'll, like I said, next week we will do kind of a wrap up of
Oh,
the
one news regarding the Olympics. Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
Logan Thompson's hurt right now. They just took him out for day to day, so he's supposed to be Canada's more than likely number one. We're going to see what happens with him. Obviously, in the next few days, hopefully he's ready to go. But that would be kind of unfortunate should he not be able to play, and should he not be able to, who's going to be their third goalie then? But we'll keep an eye out on him and
maybe
what he.
even Stuart Skinner. since with this play recently.
Yeah, he might. We'll see. But I mean, I hope Thompson gets to play, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but as we get closer to closer next week, we'll have a little bit better idea.
Yes.
Because we'll do the show next Thursday.
Yep.
And I think it'll be the day before the Olympics start.
Yeah, well, it's the final day of NHL games, or that day.
So we'll come on and we'll give you a wrap up of the first part of the season, what we think about what's going to happen as we go to the second part, and take a little closer look at the Olympics as well. That'll be next week, say this time, 6:30 Central Time here in San Antonio, Texas. All right, Carson, again, another great show. Thank you very much for all your insight. The best analyst I can think of I've ever heard in my life. And we just love doing this. We'd love to hear from you. We thank everybody who came on tonight and was watching us. If you have any questions, if you want to comment about the Olympics, if you want to comment about your team, how your team's doing at this point in the season, you can feel free to message both of us on our Facebook pages. Just search our last name, Besse, Besse, and you'll find both of us there. I'll be doing some TikTok after the game tonight that the Oilers play. And we'll just keep everybody up to date on what's going on. We love the game. We love doing this. The podcasting is great. And we would love to hear from you. So in the meantime and in between time, everybody, especially Carson, have a great hockey night.
God.